Welcome back, everybody. Wednesday, November 23rd. Things have gotten wonky, haven't they? Just as I get on the stream here, a FOMC meeting's happening, and prices are moving up and bouncing around very volatile style, up and down, back and forth. Let's jump right on into it. Welcome to Crypto Before Dark. Good to see you. If you haven't done so, go hit like. They're free. They cost nothing here. We're going to talk today about bearish retests, what they are, what they mean, how they work, why they do what they do. What does it matter? What does it do to us? Does it hurt us? Does it help us? Explain a little, right? I think it's important to know that we have to never miss the big picture. Far too often, people get stuck in the little small details. And what happens is when you get stuck in the little small details, you tend to miss everything that surrounds you. And when you miss the big surroundings, you tend to lose. I don't really want to see people lose. So I would prefer, if you didn't do that and you saw everything. So I've got Ethereum pulled up here, which was the exact same picture that was in the thumbnail. I'll wait on some people to get in here before I say hey to everybody, because there's not very many folks in here right yet. It's only 16 people. I don't really expect a lot. We do have a holiday coming. By the way, no stream tomorrow, no Zoom tomorrow. It's a holiday and everyone will be with their family. We're not going to cut into family time for YouTube. It's not the way it works. You have plenty of entertainment. There's football on. There's family that you do or don't like. All right. So first things first, let's talk about Ethereum here and what a bearish retest is. Just the same as when we were in a bull market. We'd run up in price and up in price and up in price. And you would saw price come back down every so often, hit a certain level, and everyone say, I'm buying the dip, right? That was the thing to say during the bull market. I'm buying the dip. Don't you get it? You need to buy the dip, Keith, because if you don't buy the dip, you're going to miss. Like people kept screaming this to me, buy the dip, buy the dip. There's some underlying problems with just buying the dip. And mind you guys, I got several screens in here. So if I'm looking at the wrong one, I'm sorry. Buying the dip works when prices are always going to go up. They're always going to keep going up and up and up and never stop. Feels good when that happens because, hey, look, we're not missing here. No matter what we do, we keep making money. We're getting paid every single time, right? But what happens when that goes away? What happens when we have a bear market like we have now? And every single time you see the price go up a little bit, you jump in and start buying. Well, that's you buying the top, buying bearish retests. And I'm going to explain to you what a bearish retest is. Now, it involves support and resistance. This is the large scale Ethereum chart that I've got pulled up right here. Everything's going up in price right now. Not a ton, but everything is moving up and being volatile. Like I see Bitcoin's up about 3%, Ethereum's up about 4%, et cetera, et cetera. We'll show what I'm talking about here now. This neckline that we had, this big head and shoulders right here, we have a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and here's the neckline. After this thing broke this neckline and ran way down, it came back up and tested the bottom of this neckline. This neckline was support for this head and shoulders. Once it failed, it became resistance. All right. And once that thing failed and came back and tested, this was the perfect time to start a short, not to buy. This is the perfect time to start betting against it, not betting for it. All right. This kind of tells us what we need to plan for. When we see something like this come in, we immediately go, aha, okay, I'm looking to stop right here. Especially if you were buying, you're looking to stop right here. You're not looking to buy more. All right. Furthermore, we obviously had a big downtrend line here. That's beside the point. What I'm showing you here is simply a bearish retest. Again, this thing failed this level and pulled all the way back down to support. Okay. This support line actually bounced and held for a while, didn't it? It was nice. It felt good that it ran up and held this for a while. And obviously everyone jumped in right here and started saying, oh, big bull market, big bull market. Well, that failed. It failed straight up. And once it failed, it ran right back down to that support line again. And only this time, it slipped under it. Now that it slipped under it, things have gotten a little bit more hairy here. All right. Now that we're underneath it, we're doing the exact same thing we did up here. To see that, we slipped under, tested it, and then failed. We've slipped under. We're testing it. And now what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are we going to hit this and fail again? It kind of gives me vibes like, you know, that's where we're leaning towards. No, I can't be for sure about that. What I can see is that it hasn't broken this level yet. It held this level for quite a while, and it has slipped underneath it. That leads me to believe that we're going to fail from here. Can it come up? Yes, it can. As you see, the RSI is starting to move back upwards and try to get off the floor. Hasn't done it yet, right? Hasn't done it yet, but it's trying, and I'm here for it. I really am. It's trying. Try as it may, it hasn't done it yet. Let's go down to some lower time frames just to get a better picture of some of the price action here. There you go. You had your big triangle, then you had your big fall down here, and now you've tried to start to recover. As you see, it's kind of cleaning up that inefficiency from this first drop. That would lend us to a good short right in here somewhere. Again, this would be an opportunity where I look to bet against the market and bet on it to go down. Now, it may go wrong, and I may lose there, and that's okay, but that's a good calculated risk that I'm willing to take. I don't think we're going to get much farther past this line anytime soon. I think it may wick and jump around and bounce a little bit, but all for naught, in my opinion. It could get much worse. I wanted to show you this Ethereum chart to show you these bearish retraces in the more bold sense, right? It's more clear cut and easy to see when you look at it like this, right? Again, I'm wanting this stuff to go up. Please don't twist it here. I want these prices to go up because then we can start buying spot buys, and it's way easier to buy spot than it is to leverage trade and margin trade, okay? It's way easier just to buy and hold. I want people to be able to do that. I want you to be able to do that with me. I have a ton of stable coins saved up that I want to deploy. I want to buy. Just can't. Just can't. Just can't do it yet. It's close, right? It's close, but not there yet. All right, let's go jump and look at Bitcoin right now with all the volatility that it's doing. I'll pull this off. I was way down on low time frames here. You've got a similar look where it had this wedge, failed, and now it's ran back up to that inefficiency and stopped. Stopped. Dead cold in its tracks, just like Ethereum did. Now, the good news is this is that big monthly 50 fib right here, this red line. There you see, 50, 16,214. We expected 16,000 to fail or be the level, and it did become the level. All this failed and ran right down to this 16,000 level and stopped. Is this the final level? I really don't believe it is. I think any up here is simply short-term price action, all for a longer-term punch in the face. And I think it's really going to hurt if that happens. So brace yourself. It could get bad. Let's go down to a 2-hour. Really tight here. Starting to see wicks on the top of this candle here. I don't particularly like that. I would prefer to see a full-bodied candle, not sell pressure on the top. Now, on these low time frames, it is more difficult. So I'm going to jump over to the futures chart here. It's about 10 minutes behind, but also fairly accurate. Didn't quite close that CME gap yet. Almost, but not quite. May have a little bit more up in it left here to close that CME gap. Still there from yesterday, the one we talked about during the live stream. But the price action is cleaner here on this chart. You can see that we're still stuck under this little downtrend right here. See that? Still stuck under that. That needs to break first. And that's not a perfect draw. It's just rudimentary. I'm not trying to be Chinese abacus level accurate. That's not necessary to show the price action there. You can clearly see what's happening. Alternate coins are moving way faster. Here's Binance coin. We talked about all the manipulation on CRV. Well, look at Binance coin. Did the same darn thing. Was anybody talking about it? Who did the same thing to Binance coin? Because it did literally the exact same move. Where was the manipulation? This is why I don't care about the why. I only care about the when. I only care about the when. When does it happen? When did it happen? How can I be ready for it to happen again? All the other stuff is irrelevant to me. It doesn't help me make money, then I'm not going to bother with it. The FOMC meeting pushed prices up, and now they've come right back to where they were. Interesting, right? Down to the 1 hour. Not a great looking candle right here on this 1 hour. In fact, that's pretty bad looking. The dollar, well, I'm watching the dollar over here too, and it came up a little as Bitcoin come down. That correlation between the two had kind of slipped. Started to come back a little bit. While I got a moment, let's go say hey to everybody. Oculus Vision, good to see you. What's up, Ron Poteet? Architecture, hey, what's up? Good to see you, dude. Nicholas Greco, what's up? Goombas. We love to see our buddy Goombas show up, man. He's the man. Brother Bill, what's up, dude? Danny Carney, what's up? Thor's Hammer. Anwar El Chama, good to see you. Joe D. Danny Deep Pockets, what's up, bro? He said, everybody go hit like. We only have 18 likes, 37 people watching, man. Go hit like, the free. It don't cost nothing. What's up, Terry? Good to see you. Dreamer, Irish Mindful Guy, what's up? Good to see you. All right, let's move along. Let's go to the dollar. Dollar getting destroyed. I said it moved up a little bit and it just made a wick. That's all. Dollar's getting pounded here and has continued to get pounded ever since it broke that trend line right there. And where do I think it's going to stop? Well, somewhere around 104.5. There's some support here to be had. It's bouncing around in it right now. Could catch support here and start to roll back. You see on the 1 hour, she's trashed down oversold. On the 2 hour, she's oversold. On the 4 hour, she's not oversold, working towards it. And everything on lower time frames below 2 hour is all oversold. How's the daily? Almost oversold. So there's going to come a point here where the dollar catches a rebound and at least comes back up toward this 108 level. And that may lend us toward the movement that we're expecting to see with Bitcoin where it comes down. But that hasn't happened yet. We're still waiting on it. And until it happens, c'est la vie. There's nothing you can do, so leave it be. I'm watching a bunch of other charts here on the sidelines too. I'm still stuck in my CRV trash. Couldn't get out of it. It hopped my stop loss, and I haven't been able to backpedal from it since. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And there's nothing I can do. So what's up, Zach Reese? What's the new RSI script about? It's the same RSI. It's just got a moving average in it that was put on there by TradingView. And I'll leave it on there because it just gives me a reference. I don't know that it has any use. It's just more so a reference for me. What's up, A&J? Good to see you. MMAT check conversion line again like it did last week on the daily. Probably ready for another push up. Okay. SP 500, he said. Just look at SP 500. Look at, hold on. What was I just on? Let me look real quick. Oh, Binance coin. Solana's up 10%. There's Solana on the daily doing the exact same thing that CRV is doing. I guess there's an excuse for this one too. Yeah, very, very volatile right now. Everything is super snappy, bouncing back and forth. Can't really make its mind up. All right, top assets, S&P. All right, right in the golden pocket, heading toward the trend line here, working toward overbought on the RSI, but not quite there. How about weekly? Still trending up on the weekly. If it can get past that white trend line right here, this white trend line, if it breaks it and gets through that, I fully expect this thing to keep going. It hasn't done that yet. One step at a time. There has been a ton of bleeding out of equities. That's not going to last forever. And I think if you thought it was going to last forever, there's something wrong with you. Nothing lasts forever, especially money. It evaporates rather quickly. Ask Mr. Zuckerberg. Either way, we're sitting right in the golden pocket right now. 405 here would be a level I would expect. If it can hold 405, we might get a move over the trend line. If not, if it can't hold 405, I'm inclined to believe she's heading south or sideways. Let me tighten this trend line up a little bit more here. I don't have it quite tight enough. There we go. Price action still trending up though. See that? Nice, strong, little sharp uptrend. But it did the same thing back here and did the same thing here. Okay, let's see if it actually breaks it or not. If it just wants to hit it and roll over, that's a totally different story than, oh my God, we're going way up. MMAT. All right, similar situation as I was just showing on the S&P. Still trending up over this trend line until it breaks it. Like Terry was saying, it could just continue going up again like it did last time. Put up the cloud like he's discussing. Yep, tag the conversion line, the blue line right there, and bounced and rode it right on up. And the conversion line is a 9 MA, 9 moving average. So it's just riding that 9 moving average right on up and still plastering away making money. We'll see if it can last. That 382 fib at 245 is a barrier that I expect it to have a little bit of trouble with. It's already double overbought. Let's see if it can hold it. If not, when it breaks this yellow line, that's time to hit the halt button, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Dollar index still getting destroyed. Let's see here. Bitcoin back down a little now. Very, very rocky. Very rocky. You can see the volatility building in the market and it trying to decide what it wants to do. Does it want to push lower or does it want to run higher and test the bottom of this resistance here at this purple line, which is 1875, 18750. That's the next reasonable line, because there's also a fib there from that low to this, from that high to this low. That lines up with the golden pocket right there around 19,000. So if it does break this little lower wedge right here, if it does break this and run up, 19,000 is the level I would look for on a break. If it doesn't break that and continues to go and slips under this 50 fib, it's all she wrote. She's coming down south for the winter. We're going to find out here in the next couple weeks, in my opinion. One way or the other, it's going to do one of the two. There's no options here. It has to do something. It can't continue to boil at this level. It has to break one way or another. Again, the weekly hammer candle here is still there. That could lend us some short-term support. That's all the way back from 2017, 2018 bull run. That's what we're hitting now. And this one little shelf right here, that little tiny shelf right there is what's holding up the price at the moment. How much longer can that hold? Well, we're soon to find out. This one little shelf right here held for this long. Perhaps this little shelf holds the same. We'll find out. Things have matured some for these charts. And as they've matured, you started to see the charts kind of slow and go and chill out some and be more relaxed and more controlled. And I say that, and then volatility was crazy on a couple assets the last couple of days. However, it's not like it was in the bull market. We had 300% and 400% candles every hour, right? So use your big boy brains here. Lock in. Don't do anything foolish. Don't go loading up a futures wallet with $10,000 or $20,000. That's embarrassingly bad. Keep your risks small. That way your failures are small. The smaller the failure, the less you lose and the more you learn. All right. And you're going to fail. That's part of the game. You have to fail. I often use analogies, and a really good analogy is, y'all know I've got two little boys. Teaching one to ride a bike was easier than teaching the other. So when I taught the second one, I noticed that he just didn't really want to pedal. He just didn't want to try. Well, you're going to keep falling over if you don't pedal. He would take 2 pedals and then stop. And I'm like, you got to keep pedaling, brother. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You can't quit. That's the mindset you've got to have. And eventually he learned that if I stop pedaling, I'm going to fall over. And then after I stopped running and picking him up every single time he fell over, that's when things changed. And he learned, oh, I can do this. I can't lean that far. Okay. I can't go that slow. I can't go too fast. I can't turn this sharp or that sharp. Okay. I can figure this out. I can do this. But the real meat of the story is he had to fail first to learn what not to do. From that failure, he developed a pattern. From that pattern, he got better and better and better and better. Now he rides a scooter around, zipping and zinging all through the neighborhood here, no problem. Twice as fast as his bike ever went, right? There are lessons to be learned in life that go right along with investing, and that's one of them. Now I've got the 1 hour chart on Bitcoin here pulled up. Look at that really ugly 1 hour candle at the top. This particular candle that you see right now says 38 minutes left, so don't call me out and say I was wrong. This could still change, but all of this sell pressure on the top is not great. When you have a red candle with a small body pointing down like this is a gravestone doji. How does that sound? Does it sound good? No, it does not sound good. It sounds bad. Furthermore, if it can close with a larger body and this body can come down and pull down here, this would be a shooting star. What do shooting stars do? They fall from the sky. Do you want to see this fall from the sky? Because it could. Let's keep our eyes open here and watch it carefully. Can still recover, but I don't like the look of it right now. It went from feeling real good for a minute to, uh-oh, that don't look so great. Real quick, didn't it? That's the volatility that we kind of expect in this stuff. Let's go all the way down to 15-minute here. Ooh, bearish engulfing on the 15-minute. About the 5-minute. Same story on the 5-minute. Still holding this little micro trend. Is that a little micro trend line right there? Still got it right there. If that fails, we'll see it pull back and make another couple red candles at least. And the failure level that I would expect would be back down here to 6,200 area, where all this chop was that it finally broke through and it never came back and retested. If it can't go up anymore, this is the level I would expect it to come back down to, somewhere around in here. Which would probably bring everything down with it, but we can't always be for sure about that either. It sounds like these charts have a structured settlement need cash now. Damn right, JG Wentworth. Call now. Bro, someone started posting GIFs the other day, but you weren't in the Discord. And I was like, damn it, JG Wentworth. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it, because it said, I want my money now. So it said, I want my money now. Steve says Tesla. All right, let's have a look at Tesla. It's up 5% today, but it looks bad. All right, so hang on a second and we'll pull it up here. Top assets and Tesla. 7%. I'm sorry, I said 5%. All right. Similar story. We've got two gnarly downtrends here, right? Kind of holding this one at the moment. Has some bullish convergence though, and it's got some strength riding up here. Can it push through this trend line? It looks like it wants to, and that's an ultra low time frame. That's on 1 hour. You do have a resistance line here. This red line was support. It fell below it. Once it fell below it, it needs to capture it back rather rapidly, or else. It has not captured it back. As you see, it still has some more to go. I bet you this 1 hour runs overbought to 185 or so here. That line probably is 185. There you go. 185 or so runs up, tags it, and you do have a gap down here at about 170. About 170 from opening. Let's go to 4 hour, and I bet you it'll still be there. Yep. Ooh, that's not great. Yeah, that's a daily gap. That's going to have to come back and close eventually back down to 171 and tickle that trend line a little bit. As you see, it's kind of rode that channel as well. Big downward channel right here. I don't hate a play off of this, but I need to see it capture that red line back first. And then once it does, I could probably pull it down a little farther right there. It's right on it right now. Once it does capture that red line, we may see this divergence play out with a tiny amount of bullish divergence right here. Tiny amount. And if it can get back over, we can run back toward this midline, which would be, I mean, it may go fast, it may go slow, but that midline would be the next target. And I can't really give you a price point on that because it could come up of any different angle here. Let's pull this one. 207 to 214 would be a heavy retrace back to the midline, somewhere around in that area. But that's not a given. That's just a guesstimate. That's a close guesstimate because it's still not captured what it needs to capture yet. And therefore, I pump the brakes when I see that happen. That immediately gives me pause. RRC stock looks decent. Thank you, Goombas. Let's have a look. All right. Yeah, got a bit of a triangle. I'm sorry, a bit of a diamond forming here. Let's see. All right. Had a hell of a run up, didn't it? Let's look. Man, it's still doing it. Technically, isn't it? There you go. We have some bearish convergence. About bearish divergence. Be careful here. Yeah, see that? I got bearish divergence. I got price moving sideways and RSI moving down. So this could break here, and it's throwing a really ugly candle right now. So watch yourself and be careful. As long as it's above this little uptrend right here, cool. If it fails that uptrend, it's time to go because she's heading south. But one step at a time there. DAG. Sure, I can do DAG. All right. DAG had a little bit of a rebound after a huge sell-off. Let's pull our triangle back up here. You can see the big wedge that it finally broke out of, that it rode in for quite a while. And there is a possibility this comes back up here and tests the wedge here. Right? Still a possibility, but it hasn't even broken the lower trend line yet. Excuse me, the lower trend line yet. It did go oversold, which is good, and that gave us a chance to buy and get a little bit back. But nothing's happened just yet. One step at a time. I still have this going lower. I'll show you what I mean. I pull a fib on this swing low to this swing high here. I see that it tried to take the 50 and failed, and now it's run past the one line, and it's hovering between the one line and take profit lines of 1272, 1414, and 1618. There's a 1618 line down here at 0.028. If I get my funds in, like I'm waiting for my funds to come in, I will buy one DAG node worth down here somewhere. This will open up my wallet to buying one. I will not buy one until it comes down here somewhere. 0.028 to 0.025, anywhere in this range. And honestly, if it fails that range and doesn't hold, it could come all the way back down to this green box over here, which is about 1 cent. So that'd be 2,500 bucks. And I would happily buy a node worth at 2,500 bucks. And I'll tell the whole world I did it when I do it. But it's not there yet. Again, more bearish retests. This price action to me is just not good enough, y'all. It's just not good enough. I need to see a little bit more performance. That's subpar at best. Put it that way. Subpar performances at best so far. Not good enough for me. Oh, look. That 5-minute structure broke on Bitcoin. See that? That means more down. That means we're heading back to this 16,220 level. 16,200. Call it whatever you want. That level right there that bounced around and held is our next conceivable target. It should pull everything back a little bit with it. I'm watching CRV over here. It's still up 10%. And Binance Coin's still up 11%. They're still holding strong in their fortunes. But do DAG nodes receive rewards? Very little. Yes, they do. Very little. More so, I'm buying it to long the chart. That's it. I'm not buying it for the rewards. I'm just buying it to get the rewards, the gains. The gains. Joining late. Have you done Litecoin? No, I haven't. Litecoin will be the last one we do. How about that? All right. Litecoin had a killer run up. Did the exact same thing Bitcoin did here. Same move. Let's go to daily first and have a poke at the daily. Hell of a run. Look at that. Broke that. No, it didn't. It's going to test the trend line. Look at that. There's a daily trend line that's way out there. There's another daily trend line here. Now, it did break this one. Did we create another one here? Yeah, we did. Right there. All right. Here. Yeah, look at that one's broken, or it's trying to break. It's close. Be careful. Ooh, be careful. That's pinned up right at the trend line now. Watch out. This could get ugly. It's overbought on the daily again. Ooh, walk softly, okay? Walk softly, folks. Walk softly. Vite. Vite token or Vite stock? Notice. I'm going to go with token. I'm going to go with token. A lot of sell pressure on those wicks. I don't like that. On Vite. Too much sell pressure. Looks like it's going to roll over and play dead. I don't like the way that looks. That's just a quick assessment, but I see all that sell pressure and it gives me pause. Anyway, thank you all for coming today. It's 2:31. We only do this for 30 minutes on Wednesday. We will not have a live stream tomorrow. It's all she wrote for the week. We'll be back on Tuesday, our normal time, 11 p.m. for Crypto After Dark. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate every single one of you being here. It means the world to me. I'll see you guys on the next stream. I'll leave you with this in the words of the late, great, notorious B.I.G. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here to hang out with me. I appreciate that. Sky's the limit. Y'all be good. Peace.